Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast, episode number 1366. House hunting round 3, or is it round 4? Kind of losing count on that one. But anyway, I thought, what my question for you today is when you're out house hunting, what are some of your non-negotiables that you have, some of the things that you look at, some of the things that you want to make sure is okay. If you're somebody who likes to do fixer-uppers, what are some of the things that you look for? Good bones, I guess, would be one of them. If you're not a fixer-upper, what are you looking for in a house? So I thought this would be a good one. And because this weekend, like tomorrow, I have 2 tomorrow afternoon, and then I've got, I think it's like 8 on Saturday. We are crunching it Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We are, I don't know what time the 12 noon one will finish, but that's our time of our last appointments. We've got one at 8, 8:30, 9, 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30, and 12. Yeah, 8. Those are our appointments. But it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. So some of the non-negotiables I have ready to even be considered on the list is that they have to have a fully fenced and enclosed backyard with the concrete block wall that's about 6 foot high, good gates on it, so that Zeffie has a space to run around in, and I don't have to worry about her digging to get out. I'm concerned about the metal uprights because she's a little Houdini, so she may find a way through them. So that was one of the things that's like, no, we're not going to do that. Chain link fences, she will find a way under, around them, through them. She's just like that. She bit off a hook. Did I tell you guys that? So, you know how, if you remember back a while ago, I was telling about how when she was staying with the dog sitter that she kept getting out of her crate. And so I was putting the crate into storage the other day, and I had a look at the door to try and figure out how she was doing it. The bottom had a lot of black chewed off it, so there was just metal showing through, but the bottom hook had actually been chewed off. It was missing, and so I've put that crate away. I'm probably going to end up throwing it out because it's too dangerous with that sharp piece there, and the fact that the dog sitter noticed that the last time, then she basically packed up Zeffie's crate while she was there one time because when she went to brush Zeffie's teeth one day, she noticed that her gums were raw in a couple of areas where she'd been chewing on the metal. So I says, yeah, okay. So her crate has not been up since then, and I finally got fed up of it taking up space in the RV, so I took it down to the storage unit. When I got to the storage unit, that's when I noticed all the teeth marks and the missing hooks on there, and I was sort of like, ooh, so she actually chewed through them. So with chain link fences, should probably do the same. We'll figure out how to get underneath them. So that is one of my non-negotiables. It has to have a fully enclosed concrete block wall of at least 6 feet in height, and plenty of space for her to run around in. So that's my non-negotiable. The other things that I look at when I'm house hunting. So what are your non-negotiables? Other things that I look at when I'm house hunting is what are the conditions of the bathrooms and the kitchen, because those are 2 major areas that could require a lot of expense to upgrade them and things like that. So what are the conditions? What are the conditions of the counters, the appliances, the cabinets? That's another thing that I look at is I don't want to have to upgrade the kitchen or the bathrooms. So they need to be in pretty good condition or have recently been renovated. The other rooms like bedrooms, living rooms, all of that, coat of paint, steam clean tiles, steam clean the carpets. That is easy. That's easy fixes. But when you come to things like bathrooms and kitchens, that's a whole nother ballgame. So those are things I look at too, is what is the condition that the kitchen is in and what condition are the bathrooms in. What are some of the things that you look for that you sort of think, yeah, I really don't want to update those. And if it's in good condition, but a little dated, I can handle that. I can handle good condition, a little dated, and just think, for now I could just like paint the cabinets, give them a fresh coat of paint. But if I'm looking at like having to rip out the counters because they've got burn marks on them or whatever, it's sort of like, yeah, no. I don't want that expense right now. But if it's something that, if it's a kitchen that's in really good condition, even if it is showing its age and it's something that I can do like in a few years' time, then yeah, I would consider it. But if it's something that's going to require major stuff, yeah, like immediately before you move in, no. If they have gardens that require a lot of maintenance, I'm looking at those thinking, I'm either going to pull everything out, or I'm going to have to hire somebody to come in and take care of the gardens, because me and plants, I missed the green thumb gene. My parents have the green thumb gene and have got gorgeous, gorgeous gardens. I kill plants. Although our outdoor ones, our azaleas seem to survive. And I managed to grow roses. That's back when we were in Virginia. I managed to grow roses. So, yeah, me and gardens, we just don't mix very well. We really don't. Indoor house plants, do not give me an indoor house plant. I will kill it. Although I do have some success with peace lilies and the spider plants. Although usually my mother has to rescue those when she comes over. She just puts them in the tub with some water and just soaks them for a couple of days to revive them. But anyway, so what are some of the things that you're looking for when you're looking at houses? What are some of the things that you looked for the house that you're currently in? Maybe you're in the process of house hunting. I also look for a good flow. I like to have the kitchen, dining, family room area as one big space where one looks into the other, especially if you're in the kitchen and you're talking to people and you want to, so you're not being shut off from people who are in the family room area. That's the other, or at the dining table, you don't want to be closed off. I like a big open flow as far as the kitchen, dining, and family room area goes, or the great room, or the living room, whatever you want to call it, that there's an open floor plan for that. If there's a wall in the kitchen with a pass-through that you can see into the family room, that's fine too. But I'd rather have like a breakfast, an island with a breakfast bar attached to it. The other thing I look for in a kitchen is good counter space. Am I going to be able to do my food preps and my baking and all the fun stuff that I like to do in a kitchen with the space that is there? Will I have space to have my air fryer out all the time and my Vitamix out all the time? Or are they things I'm going to have to put away and pull out when needed? So I look at that as well. Is there a microwave in the kitchen? If there is, it's sort of like, can I get rid of it? I don't do well with microwaves. I very rarely use them. If I need something heated, I'd like to do it on a stovetop, but I don't use the stovetop, so it goes in the air fryer and gets reheated right now. I try not to use the microwave when possible. I do have been using it to heat up soups because I don't want to put the gas burner. I'm just looking at all the things that that I'll be able to. Because there was one place we had to look at, and they had the cooktop, but the bottom part of the microwave was a very small space in between. And I looked at it and I thought, I don't even think I can get my Dutch oven on there. And I think I could get the Dutch oven on there, but I had like about this much space between the top of the Dutch oven and this. And my Dutch oven is not that big. It's only 4.5 quarts. So it's not very big as far as height goes. And so I was looking at that going, yeah, I couldn't even do any of my waterless cooking thingy on there. So I need space. So I thought, well, I can always remove the microwave and just put a range hood in. So what else do I look at? Oh, size of bedrooms. Yes, so got to have a good sized bedroom. I was looking at one floor plan of a new house, and they actually had the sizes of the bedroom on there, and I'm like, okay, the bedroom, the second and third bedroom were around 11 foot by 11 foot, basically 11 by 11, and the master bedroom was 12 by 12. And I thought, well, that doesn't leave you a lot of space in the master bedroom. I like a little more space. I mean, you're only putting a bed in there. Yes, correct. I'm only putting a bed in there. But I still like to have space to walk around the bed. So it's looking at things like that. Can I get, and I'm still tossing up, am I going to get a queen bed? Am I going to get a king bed? So when I'm looking at houses, do I have space to put a king bed in here and have room to move around the bedroom? I may have a dresser in there. I may not have a dresser in there, depending how big the walk-in closet is, because I might put the dresser in the walk-in closet. So there's all these things that you got to think about when you're house hunting. And there's, you've got your non-negotiables. Then you have your kind of like your must-haves, which is, does the kitchen and bathroom need updating immediately, or is it something that it's in really good condition, it can wait a year or two before you update it while you figure out what you're going to do with it? There was one place we were in, it was a bit of a fixer-upper though, and I'm handy to a degree. When my parents come over, Dad fixes what I did. I have the daddy do list. My dad is very handy, and if I don't give him a daddy do list, he finds stuff to do. So, but one place we're looking at, and we're even talking, because it had a kind of a small kitchen in there, and so even, well, maybe, if this isn't low bearing, we could move that out about 6 feet over to this, in this direction, and make it a much bigger kitchen and have space to put an island in there. And so we're looking at that and seeing that, and I says, well, we could also put a breakfast bar over this side, and because we had the space to do it. And so we're looking at things like that, but there was just a little too much for my skill set that needed doing. So, the kitchen was workable. It was clean. It didn't need immediate updating, but it was going to need updating in like a year or two. So could have done that. What other things do we look at? Well, the backyard, we've talked about the garage. Yes, garage. You got to have space. Even though I've only got one car, I still want a 2-car garage. I got to have space. People go, storage space. Yeah, kind of. But in Arizona, a lot of garages aren't insulated, so they get really, really hot in the summertime. So whatever you put out there for storage has got to cannot be heat sensitive. And so, just looking at different things and thinking, okay, this, and as far as the other flow of the bedroom, so the kitchen, dining, family room area open, so that you can see into each room from whichever one you're in. And then I don't mind if the bedrooms are split. And when I say split, for some of those that may not know, that is usually the master bedrooms at one side, either on one side of the house or at one end of the house, and the other bedrooms are on the opposite side of the house, away from basically you don't go off the same hall for everything. So I don't mind that. I kind of like the split, because it kind of like divides the house up. This is where my space is, and then this is where our guest is, and looking at when I'm looking at the layout, which one would be the guest room, and I want the guest room that's closest to the hall bathroom, because that kind of gives them like an ensuite type of thing. If they just have to go out of their door and turn and go straight into the bathroom, that would be the guest room, and not having to walk down a hallway to get to a guest room, to get from the guest bedroom to the guest bathroom, that sort of stuff. So looking at that layout as well. I like to have a good flow through the house. I don't like chopped up. I don't like it chopped up. It's got to be open. It's got to be spacious. Even if it's a small house, like around 1,200 square feet, it needs to feel spacious. Yes, you might, you can get, there's some places that we looked at, that we've already looked at in the past, where it's sort of like, I really like the layout of that house and the flow. And I like look at it and go, when I look at the square footage now, we had a 1,600 square foot house when we were living in San Diego, and it was pretty much okay. But it kind of felt small and closed in. And I was looking at a house that was less square footage than that, and felt so much more spacious because of the layout. It was such a great layout and everything else, and it just worked. It just worked. The house that we had in Solana Beach was 1,600 square foot and 4 bedrooms, and our master bedroom there was 13 by 12, I think it was 13 by 12. It was small, and we had enough room to have the bed there, and then we had the dressers opposite the bed, and nightstands there, but it still felt crammed to walk around it. So I was like, yeah, next time I'm getting a slightly bigger bedroom. But then we did have big bedroom furniture in there and a king size bed. But what do you look for when you go house hunting? How much? I also look at what's on the ground in the backyard too, for when Zephy's running around it, because if it's that kind of like sharp lava rock stuff that would hurt her paws, how much of it am I going to have to replace if she's got an area to run around in? maybe just move it all to the side or something and pile it up against the concrete block walls or something like that. And so she just has dirt to run around on. Oh, we went and did a meet and greet today, so that I'm looking for somebody to watch her for the weekend because my regular sitter's not available. And so we went and did a meet and greet. They had this massive backyard. And so when she told me I could and we'd done a meet and greet with her dog outside in this common area, and they got on fine, so she invited us in. And we just took Zeffie into the backyard. And it was a massive backyard. And Zeffie she said, oh, you can take Zeffie off the leash. And Zeffie just sort of like ran around me, and then she's sort of like, oh, I have more space. And she just took off and ran around different areas and stuff, and not at full speed, but pretty quick. And this woman had a 3-year-old, and she's standing there holding her little popsicle, and basically it was just frozen water with bits of fruit in it. And I thought, what a great idea. And she gives it to Zeffie, and Zeffie takes a lick of it, and she puts it back in her mouth. I'm like, kids. But this little girl went over and got this rubber bone dog toy thing, and goes, here. And Zeffie went and she was playing tug with the little girl, and she was just doing these gentle. And Zeffie is awesome with kids. She wasn't tugging as hard as she does with me, but she was tugging, just gentle tugs. And then the little girl pulls it out of Zeffie's mouth and throws it and goes, fetch. And Zeffie goes running off after this toy, runs right over it, turns around, comes back to it, and gets down like a cat ready to pounce on this thing, and then pounces on it and then runs off. And I says, yeah, she doesn't quite get the fetchy thing. I just tell her to bring it here. I says, we're still working on that one. But, this little 3-year-old was fascinated with Zeffie, and Zeffie was fascinated with her, and they got on great. Unfortunately, she didn't think we would be a good fit for them for this weekend because of the activities and stuff that they had on. So that was a bit of a shame, because she would have had fun at that place. So yeah. But anyway, so we're going to be house hunting this weekend, 10 houses to go see. Actually, no, it's more than 10, because 2 of them we're going to go see are new construction. So we're going to be looking at their models and then having a look to see what houses do they already have that are complete, haven't sold, but are move-in ready. And have a look at those as well. So we have 10 appointments, but we're going to be seeing more than 10 houses. And one of the houses has already got the status has changed from for sale to accepting backups. And my all-time favorite house that I really like with the RV yard, and that suddenly switched status this morning, went to pending. I was like, damn it. But that's okay. It means it wasn't for me. And so that's all right. You got to go with these things. Anyway, I'm out of here. I got a class coming up, which is why we're on early today. Got a class coming up in 10 minutes. Tomorrow we are going to be on, oh, hang on. I don't have those in my thing yet. Hang on. I got to check, see what time my appointments are tomorrow. I have my little cheat book. Let's see. Got a 4:30 and a 5 o'clock. Yeah. So we should be on at 6 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow evening. If not, it'll be by 6:30. It just depends where these houses are that we're going to go and have a look at, and the traffic getting back home again too. So we will see you guys here tomorrow evening around 6 o'clock, between 6 and 6:30. But earliest 6 o'clock, latest 6:30. So go out and have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Let us know in the comments below, what are some of your non-negotiables when you go house hunting? What are some of the things that you look at when you're house hunting that could swing you from a yes to a no, or a no to a yes, and that sort of thing. So what are some of the things that you look at? Are you somebody who likes to find the houses that need the fixing up and use them as investment properties? Are you somebody who, when you're out house hunting, it's to live in? So what are some of the things that you're looking at when you're out house hunting? So good to know I like to know what people do when they go house hunting, and some of the things they look for, some of the things that they don't look for, and things like that. So have a super fantastic sparkling evening. He konera.